As of late, the term ESG has become a boogeyman in which all woke propaganda and wrongdoing in the gaming industry has been blamed upon. In this video, I would like to demonstrate that while ESG is in fact causing a lot of problems, it isn't necessarily the root of all evil and the cause of all this in the gaming industry. I understand that it's easy to generalize and that because certain people on the internet who have very, very sexy mothers have been blaming ESG, I would like to note that once again, this is not what is causing this issue. There's something much deeper. There's something much more evil and much more subversive going on than simply a gigantic mega corporation funding all of this woke leftist communist propaganda. Now, for those of you who aren't terminally online 24/7 or perhaps aren't within the loop, ESG stands for Environmental, Social, and Governance Criteria. Now, of course, this is just mumbo jumbo, alphabet soup, typical just terminology, word salad that has been spewed out, which obviously means nothing. We're going to get into what these words actually mean and what this ESG practice truly does in just a moment here. So ESG comes with ratings for the previously mentioned criteria, such as environment, social, and governance ratings. The environment, or the E in ESG, stands for the relationship that companies have with the environment. And these are things that can be as vague or as just whatever nonsensical as whatever the ESG ratings state that they can be. So let's say, for example, your company is now moving to paper straws instead of using plastic straws. Well, you'll get an increase in your ESG score and you'll get more money. The S stands for social, and the ratings are based on certain criteria, such as the boogeyman of diversity. And this is taken to an extreme political level where, something even like abortion or what is it they say, trans rights, if you support either of those, then you'll receive a higher score. And the G stands for governance, and its ratings are based on the structure of your corporation, which means, once again, diversity, the structure of the higher-ups and how much people are being paid, etc., etc., etc. Essentially, these people are bullying other people with their money into believing in or supporting whatever propaganda or whatever movement that whoever is in control of ESG funding decides is correct. Now, you may be asking, well, how does this relate to gaming, right? This seems like something that would only affect something like, big corporations. Well, gaming is one of the biggest industries out there right now. It's the largest entertainment industry out there by a very, very wide margin. Of course it would impact gaming. Of course it would impact the funding that is received in gaming, right? And I'm not denying that it is impacting the corporate culture and the corporate structure. However, I'd like to dive into some of these reasons why I don't think that even if we remove something like ESG, that it would change much about the current woke infrastructure of the gaming industry. Now, I think it's obvious. You can go and find a million of these video essays out there that state things like the gaming industry has changed and how everything is bad now, why gaming is dying, etc., etc. In my opinion, this has been something that has been going on since probably 2008. It's nothing new. I don't know why this topic has blown up in popularity as of late. But the face of gaming has changed, and gamers have changed, and as such, the industry has adapted to this. Now, the first big thing that I'd like to discuss is that I think for the first time ever, gaming is not getting younger, or rather, gaming is no longer focused on maintaining a young audience, like teenage to early adulthood audience, or even, it's not even really aimed at children anymore. Not even game companies like Nintendo really are aiming their games toward children, even though they make baby games. The next generation that would have been consuming these games would have been Gen Alpha, and Gen Alpha is trending more towards playing on their phones, and they're trending towards playing on their tablets, which means that they aren't actually playing games, they're playing glorified slot machines. And that's where the large focus has been directed towards, these Skinner box mobile games. So, with the new young generation being essentially removed from the consumer market, or rather marginally decreased, we see a large focus on the largest group of consumers within the gaming market, which are millennials. Now, I hate to say it. Well, actually, I don't hate to say it. Millennials are woke. They're the ones that have been pushing this SJW nonsense, this left-wing satanic propaganda since day one. They're the ones who ate up this slop in college and have been farting it out and shitting it out onto everyone's plate for the past 15 years. And what's more is that millennials are not only just the largest consumers of games, they're also the ones who are being handed the reins to develop these games. So far, the first reason why I don't believe that ESG is killing gaming or is making gaming more woke is because millennials are the target audience, as well as the lead developers and lead programmers and lead whatever directors for these new games. And millennials, for as much as all of you are going to grit your teeth and whine and probably scream, millennials are very, very, very woke. With that being said, if we take away the ESG funding, what exactly is going to change? Are these millennials, all these blue-haired fat freaks, just suddenly going to quit their jobs? I don't think so. Are these greedy corporations going to suddenly stop behaving this way because ESG is suddenly gone? No, I don't think so. Is the demoralization propaganda from these indoctrinated individuals, these indoctrinated millennials, suddenly going to begin to cease? The answer is no. Why? Because these people entered the industry, 10 plus years ago with the intention of subversion from day one. The subversion is so totally ingrained in the industry that nothing short of 90% of the video game industry losing their jobs would fix this problem. Modern woke games like Red Dead Redemption 2, The Last of Us 2, Resident Evil 4 Remake, and Baldur's Gate 3, which all of those games have been highly, highly praised, are still massive successes despite being extremely woke. I don't even think that Larian Studios even receives ESG funding, but I'm not entirely sure. Don't hold me to that. Gamers like woke products, apparently. They keep buying all of these games that are extremely woke. Look at Baldur's Gate 3. That game got Game of the Year. Everyone was praising it. It was getting 100s on Metacritic. You can have sex with a bear. That game has demons and these satanic, disgusting things in it. Yet gamers lap it up. And you people want to say that it's ESG causing this issue? No, you people keep buying these woke products. This has nothing to do with ESG. Do you think that stuff wouldn't be in the game if it wasn't for ESG? I beg to differ. Look at the people who are making the games. Look at look at all the developers on Twitter. They all have rainbow flags next to their names and everything. And you want to say it's ESG causing this? No, the people making these games support this stuff. They love it. And apparently, you all love it too because you keep buying it. You keep saying these games are 10 out of 10s. You put hundreds of hours into them. I've also seen the narrative posted that, there are these woke games that have been released in 2023 and all of this nonsense that, all these games, they're flopping because they're woke. They're flopping because of the ideology in them. Well, no. The reason why games like Forspoken are flopping is because it's a piece of shit. Which, by the way, I'd rather play Forspoken than a game like Hogwarts Legacy, which apparently all of these based YouTubers, whatever that word means nothing. It's used by grannies. They say, Hogwarts Legacy is based, but at the same time, I see this demonic NPC. The whole game is woke. The whole game is entirely woke. They don't even call you he or she in the game. All the NPCs call you they. But once again, all you people scream, based, based, based! I think that as time goes on and they begin to reel back a lot of these ESG whatever nonsense, which they are, I believe, already beginning the process of, that we won't actually see the reversal of the damage. But I think what's going to happen is games are going to get more woke because there's going to be more millennials. People who are more progressive are going to keep entering the medium and being more and more subversive. Do you people not understand how demoralization propaganda works? It's never going to get better as long as you keep buying it, as long as you keep supporting for it, as long as you keep clamoring for it. I'll never understand how companies like Activision Blizzard still manage to pump out these games, and not only that, how people manage to continue to get somehow tricked into buying these disgusting products over and over again when they've proven time and again that they can't be trusted, but you people still buy it. Why? Because you're chasing the dragon. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse because you people keep buying everything, because secretly you all clamor for it. Secretly, there's a part of you that wants to recreate whatever the hell it was that you played when you were a little kid, and you've just been chasing the fucking dragon for all your life. Well, I've got bad news for you. You're never going to catch the dragon. You're never going to recreate that feeling again. And it's not because you were a little kid or blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, people like to say it's because of nostalgia. It's not that. It's because the people who are making these trash games don't know how to make good games anymore. It has nothing to do with the fact that, oh, you're old or you grew out of it, this and that. It's not a perception. Games are trash now. They take 8 years to make. This is not nostalgia. When they are released, they're half-baked. At best. Most of these games that are released now are at best beta tests. It's worthless. I'm tired of hearing the response that, oh, you just grew out of it. Oh, you're just old now, this and that. That's not the case. You try all these you try all these shitty indie games too. They're all bad. That's a whole nother video. I think every indie game that I've ever played has been trash. Every single one. That's a whole different video though. I hate to say it, but this industry as a medium, everything about gaming is done after GTA 6. There is no more titles to look forward to after GTA 6. Every single franchise that has had every single little ounce of hype and excitement or whatever has been squeezed dry with endless remakes and just people who are recreating these games and have no idea what they're doing. After GTA 6, which according to the trailer that we've seen looks pretty good so far, after GTA 6, there is nothing. This is the end. Everything now from this medium is going to be used as a propaganda mouthpiece. They have no interest in pushing the medium forward. They have no interest in the technology. These woke, lazy millennial developers from day one have never had any interest in the same things that you or me or most of the people who are playing these games care about. They only care about their agenda. They only care about shutting you up, silencing you, etc., torturing you. The real question is, what is it going to take to fix this problem? How are we going to set the course straight? Well, unfortunately, like I said, I don't see the people who are currently in the industry quitting their jobs anytime soon. I don't see all these people suddenly giving up their work from home jobs where they make 6 figures a year to sit around and have Zoom meets twice a week and to sit around and drink soy lattes all day. I just don't see these people quitting their jobs anytime soon. They're too cozy. The industry is also heavily nepotistic as well. So what's it going to take for games to be good again? Well, unfortunately, I don't see the video game industry crashing anytime soon either, because that's what it would take. It's too big. But at the same time, we're seeing these gigantic games with, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars pumped into them, like Forspoken. A lot of these licensed games like that Golem game, Redfall, Starfield is another good example, although I believe Starfield did make a good amount of money. We're seeing these games that have these gigantic studios backing them, Square Enix, they're beginning to fail. And it's not because they're woke or anything, it's because they're trash, obviously. But I just don't see the industry correcting this course anytime soon. I don't see these lazy millennials. I don't see anybody cracking the whip on them anytime soon, because they basically control everything right now. They're going to sit around, they're going to say the games are going to take 9 years to develop, and it's going to go the way of the movie industry, where no one has any work ethic anymore. No one wants to pump out products in 2 or 3 years in a manner that is timely and is efficient, and on top of that actually make quality products. It's just not going to happen. I don't see any of this ESG nonsense actually being at the core of what's wrong with the industry. It's a load of bullshit to say that, this BlackRock funding and this and that. I just can't see that as being the core issue, the core problem in the industry. I mean, sure, it's a problem, right? Sure, subversive media is definitely a problem, but at the end of the day, the problem isn't that the media is subversive. The problem is that it's trash. That's the reason why no one wants to play games anymore, is because these games are trash. That's why they sit around and play Mario Sunshine or whatever trash game that they liked in the past. It's actually bad. They sit around and play these games for 20 years, speedrunning them, or making hour-long video essays about them. It's trash. It's total trash. It's because there's nothing new that's coming out that can match the quality of some of these products that were made before 2008. And, you know, maybe there's a few ones here and there that are okay that have been made recently, but for the most part, the quality fails to match that of the past. Anyways, I just don't see this industry going on for much longer, seeing how these products are trash. They take 8 years to develop, and that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm wondering, does everyone else think that this is all just a symptom of ESG, or is there something even worse going on underhand? I don't think that this is ESG that's doing this. I think this is just these developers are trash, and they're subversive, and they've been subversive from day one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.